Well, look at this. It's a new studio. As we said, is it ready to go? Nope. Why haven't we had so many shows in the last couple of days? I think I just told you. We've been building out a studio. Well, let's be honest. I haven't been doing shit. That's actually not true. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been running around all over the place. But Brett is here and has been doing some stuff. But this is going to be a me show, kind of giving you guys a breakdown on what's been going on, but also talk about some of the stories that I missed out on. We did see Furiosa. If you saw the Out of the Theater reaction, you'll see that's on the channel right now. And the first reviews for that movie are out, so we'll discuss it. Another big news that I saw was that Wesley Snipes, he might be coming back as Blade in the MCU. What? What is that? Is that true? Well, he addressed the rumors. Or maybe it's not even necessarily Blade. Could just be someone in the MCU. Or maybe it's just BS. What's not BS is, I know what you did last summer. They're going to do another one of those. And it looks like the rumors of it finally happening, it's true, it's going to happen. And speaking of long-awaited sequels, Happy Gilmore 2 coming to Netflix. So that's just some of the things we're going to talk about here on the show. Now, I can't promise you it's going to be one of our hour-long shows. I don't know if I have it in me. But I am going to talk to you guys tonight about it. And this way, this episode's probably going to come out pretty late. Definitely late for East Coasters. But it'll come out even a little later for people on the West Coast. So let's get into the show today. It's the big thing. It's me. Brett will be the voice of God. We'll have that. So here we go. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is the big thing. It is officially our first East Coast Big Thing episode. That's right. As a lot of you know, we got the New York move happening. Brett and I are here in New York setting up the studio, and it's been an adventure thus far. And I want to thank so many people. And once we get everything set up, we have all the notes of people who we want to send thanks to for. We have this New York wish list. It's still up there. People, even yesterday, Carlton Rudder helped us out, did some stuff with the list, and we have so many people who have contributed to that list, and you helped us get this thing moving. Thank you. People asked me today, you still have the list up? I do. It's still up, and we're still getting things and moving things around and putting it all together. So we're trying to soundproof this place. Like, you'll see like the footage. I mean, I already like the new shot. We'll be doing some more. There's a big old moth in here, though. That hasn't changed, where there's no squirrels or birds, but this time there's a big old moth. We left the window open. That won't happen too often. Just put the air conditioner on, and you won't be able to hear it. That's what we got in the new studio. We'll have guests. I had a great conversation with Matt Serra today. I went to Matt Serra's jiu-jitsu school today. First of all, one of the greatest dudes you'll ever meet. Matt Serra is just, and the respect that this guy gets from all of his students. He's walking around there, rightfully so, as Yoda, and he's got the professionalism of these people that are training at his school. I mean, I was in awe. I was in awe I was at Sarah's jiu-jitsu school, and just the people. And Matt was just so awesome. Every single person that came up, he introduced me to them, and I watched a sparring session. It was great, man. It was really, really great. And so Matt's going to come on the show in studio, one of the shows next week. I don't know which one yet, but he'll be on either Wednesday or Thursday. He'll be on the show. We'll probably tape it on Monday or Tuesday. And it'll just be a full-on conversation between the two of us. So look forward to that, because it's going to be a good one. And yeah, so anybody who's contributed to the list and all that, and I know, and if you watch for the Down to Earth show, I know I missed a few videos there, but like I said, it's all in the long run for the good cause as we're setting this place up. And like already, I can tell you, like, Brett's been working really hard on getting this shot. The way this is going to look, like, 'cause you can hear Brett.
Hey, I go to my shot, see how blurry and out of crappy it is.
Oh, that's great. that's
hey,
yeah. How's it going?
Because I wanted to point out how the background is.
It looked good.
But this, I mean, you
Do we
can
have a
see
wide shot yet? We don't have a wide shot.
No, I had to unplug the wide. I had 3 shots earlier, but that was tequila.
Yeah, you see, but here's the difference. Here's the funny thing, is that some people are like, oh, you're gonna do virtual stuff too. Right now, this looks like virtual.
Yep.
It looks like you're not even in the same studio, and you're literally right across from me, which is hilarious. And because it's just not set up yet. So we wanted to make sure that I asked Brett and I said, do you think we'd be able to get something when I get back from Sarah's school? Do you think we'd be able to just shoot something? Because I want to tell the audience kind of what's going on and do a couple of stories. And he said, yeah, we can get it working. So within however long it was, he got this shot, which I mean, I love this. This is my goal, and what Brett wanted to do also was I wanted the way that the shots are going to look now is the old studio was great, and it was great, but it was always like we were, Brett, like on an angle. Over here, I'd have to look at Brett like over here when I was talking to him. And now I'm going to be looking directly at the person, and we're going to have a camera there that's going to be looking at him. So you guys are like seeing the behind the scenes. If you're watching these episodes, you'll see the progression of this studio, which is going to be the Big Thing Studio. So I'm excited for it, man. I'm really pumped for it, and I can't wait to hear all you guys and like as we move forward and forward and forward, like how people are new people will find this show, and new people won't ever know about the old show, man, the old studio. You guys will. So this will be great. We have some good guests. I'm gonna try tomorrow to do a show for Capes and Cowls with Coy. So that'll be our first one where I try to do one where we have him come in, call in remote, and I have this. And we'll see how that turns out. So I'm pumped about it. I really am pumped about it. It's going to be good. So let's talk about some of these stories, because there are some really, really good ones. And let's start with Furiosa. All right, before we move to the stories, I was also told that I do have a wide shot that will not be the wide shot that you will get used to in the future, but you'll see almost like a before and after shot. Oh, wow. Look at this guy.
Look at that. Look at that yellow.
No headphones for you or anything?
Oh, no. You'd think I would have packed those.
Why would you?
No, you wouldn't want to.
Look at this. This is hilarious, because this is like, again, where you're going to see like the color is blown out. And it's like, this is the progression of the studio.
But I just hung those brick panels just this evening. It was all this yellow painted wood paneling.
So you get Brett looking like that, and then you get that. Not bad.
And more will be having the conversation like this.
Okay, so we're messing around again. We got the wide shot, and then we did that. That's as best. That's as best as we can do. Asbestos? It's not asbestos, but it's as best as we can do.
Yeah. Right now we've got. We're still shooting in 1080p. For all you listeners at home who know the lingo.
Yes, right.
We'll get into you making me walk past the only brick and mortar B&H photo in all of the United States and the world, and not being able to go in.
I made
something
you?
I've
or we
dreamed
had to catch
of.
a train?
Well, we had to catch a train. But right now we have. Do we have two of the 4K cameras? If we get one more, we'll be able to be shooting in 4K
for the whole show.
For the whole show,
we're trying. Those things are. I wound up. I haven't told the wife.
Rubbing some pennies together right now.
No, I haven't told the wife. There's certain financial decisions that I've made for this show over the last month that I'm glad that I can talk about it here with you, because I can't talk about it, and I know my wife will not listen to this show because it will not go over well.
I've heard rumblings of you having a telethon for my pay.
I'm glad you said it.
You're gonna buy the camera. You're gonna go like, hey, maybe I'll do a stream
to try to get Brett paid.
Yeah.
So no, we're trying to figure out all this stuff too. But as Brett said, things are coming along. But let's start. We're going to start with Furiosa, because Brett's actually seen the movie with me, so we can talk about it a little bit. Here it is. All right. First reactions to Furiosa. They're in. And I think that Brett and I had one of the first reactions, to be completely honest with you. But nobody's going to quote us. Yeah. Why would they? I wouldn't. So Furiosa, the first reactions, first reviews, they are in. And I'm going to guess, Brett, and say that the reviews are pretty good. I have not looked yet. Dark Horizon says George Miller's Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, had its world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival on Wednesday, where the film received a standing ovation of just under 8 minutes. Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, and Miller were on hand for the event, and reviews of the film have gone online since the premiere. 31 reviews counted. The film sits at 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, which puts it well ahead of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and at 81%, about on par with Mad Max, but behind The Road Warrior, 93%, and Mad Max Fury Road at 97%. Wow, it's a big one. There's some review quotes. David Ehrlich says that Mad Max doesn't feel like an overture for the vehicle carnage of Fury Road so much as it retroactively makes Fury Road feel like a coda for the epic tale Miller tells here. I know we went over some of these already last week, so the reviews that I've seen for the most part are pretty damn good. And people, and I've seen some people talking about a lot of stuff that we did, and like the sound in this movie is just out of control. You were losing your mind.
My dad was a gearhead, and I had a hot rod when I was a kid, and I'm told you this. I'm going to be building a Mad Max style car for Wasteland Weekend.
I love that.
So just like that rumbling, and I'm getting ideas and stuff. But just that the kid me when I remember revving up my '72 Chevelle, just like
yeah.
And like you said, and then it's just nothing.
Like, and it's weird because like you can do this. It's like the way that movie works, and we saw it in the Hudson screening room where it was like where
my wife's calling.
Okay, I'll see you later. So the Hudson screening room where we saw this thing, Warner Brothers has this sound where it wasn't IMAX, but it was like the sound was like it like engulfed you. So as Brett was talking about, it was like. And you would feel it. You could feel like the engine roaring. And I said to you at one point, I was like, I could like smell the gasoline on like the bikes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it was, and there would be like this high, intense action that's going on, which this is not an insult. It seems like it goes on for a long time, and I guess because it does. But it's like but it's never obviously boring. But then when it stops, it is legit like you could hear a pin drop.
And obviously, in all of the Mad Max films, just like the gasoline and having the ability to have vehicles is like the big theme of just like showing your power as like, whatever group you're in. It's always like, and just when like, 100 motorcycles. I mean, it's awesome. Unless you're, kids sleeping or something.
If your kid's sleeping, but I'll tell you, it was like intense. And then the performances, like we talk, I mean, and people have been commenting on this. And Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress, and she's great in this movie, but she doesn't have a lot to say. She's like where Mad Max doesn't have a lot to say in the last one.
No.
She doesn't have a lot to say, and there's a lot of this stuff going on. Not just from her, from like a lot of people in the movie. But that's not an insult. It's just part of it. Chris Hemsworth has the most to say, and he could have went into a very kind of goofy, corny character very fast, but didn't.
No.
And like we laughed like when you're supposed to laugh, we laughed a bunch of times, and it's like really maniacal, but uses the humor in a way because Joe in the movie, both movies, is just so scary.
Yeah, he's frightening.
He's frightening. This guy's frightening, but almost like in a what's the character in The Walking Dead? Negan? He's kind of like a Negan.
Yeah. Oh God, see, names are always good.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah. Oh,
He gives me that Sam Rockwell where it's kind of like he's dancing right before he's gonna kill somebody, kind of a thing, And that's I think, and I told you, I think Prince and Chris Hemsworth, that Prince is his brother.
Prince
is one of the biggest like action / comedic actors right now. I think that his comedy skills are impeccable. SNL, he killed it.
He's just a natural, right? And he
ain't bad to look at.
And that's what you're saying. but there was something else that the point that was made with Hemsworth and everybody too, like, it just felt natural in just the entire flow of it.
It was grounded.
It was I will say though too, it's hilarious. And when we went to the screening, the same kind of conversations that I thought were going to be just LA based when it came to critics, no, they followed. Like there's the same conversations were happening in the theater, and there was just one like. I don't know how old this gentleman was, but he was literally just like the whole time before the movie started. This guy's just shitting on apes.
Oh yeah,
just shitting on apes.
Apes and Wish. And,
just
if is that the new?
Yeah, just shitting on it. And I'm like, can you have a good time?
Yeah.
But it was like, it was not in a way to where you have these conversations with people and you're like, I didn't like that movie and I'll tell you why. It was more of like. if you liked, he didn't say these words, but his tone was, if you liked this movie, then you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I turned to you at one point because we were kind of like eavesdropping, and I go, I liked Apes.
Yeah, Apes was a good one.
I like that last Apes. I still like it. And he goes, he's like, he didn't say to me, but he was saying, he's like, that's a B cinema score. That's not good. And I'm like, well, maybe they're all wrong. How about that?
I was
about
more
that,
mad
Jerry?
at the guy in the elevator when
You were mad at that guy. We were coming back. We were going to the screening, and it was screening room 1.
Yeah.
Right. And I go, it was today. And I said, and Brett and I were on the elevators, and there was a guy behind us, and I said to Brett, they said screening room 1, right? So Jerry Chime in goes, Chime in. He comes in and he goes, what did he say?
I believe there's only one screening.
He's like, well, there's only, but he cracked like a joke.
Yeah.
He cracks something. He's like, well, there's only one screening room. And we walk by, and right when we get off the elevator, screening room 2. So Brett and I look at each other like,
I wanted to show him a picture of it. Hey, I found the bathroom and screening room 2 if you're interested.
if you care. You want to take a number 2 or you look for number 2.
Yeah.
But the way that they set this thing up, the Furiosa, is they really tie it well into the Mad Max and how the world, and it's a chaotic opera.
Oh yeah.
You know?
And I mean, they really tie it in, like to the T.
Yeah,
and there's no questioning that this was a prequel, and I didn't know what to expect, and I had a great time. I love the Fury Road, so I was automatically going into this like, I'm ready. Let's do this. What are they going to do next? That's the question.
Well, that's a great question because it's going to be, because there's rumors that they're going to either do a Mad Max, Tom Hardy Mad Max movie. Is it going to be a prequel for how? But someone said, well, isn't that just Mad Max? But the question is it how the lead up to how what he's doing before he finds Furiosa? But the other question is this, and I say this just because I want to be a little bit of a realist.
Yeah,
George Miller.
117,
something like that. But I think he's like 85, or I mean, how old is? Let me say, let's look up how old George Miller. I'm going to guess, and I'm going to say that George Miller is 83 years old. Okay. And what do you say he is? He's 79. Okay, he's 79. So he's still
okay. That's not bad.
He's still 70, but it's still.
Yeah.
I mean, 79 years old. So he's got at least.
I was slightly off.
I was too.
Yeah.
But I would say he's going to be, hopefully, making movies for another 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? Hoping.
Then let's. I want to see Tom Hardy back.
I'd like to too, but you know what the other rumor is? That he might do the next Thor movie.
Oh.
Which I wouldn't hate.
Yeah.
I would love to see what he would do with Thor.
I'm a Tom Hardy stan. He can be in just about anything for me. I'll watch.
I'd like to see him do something. I'd like to see another Mad Max movie. I'd like to. He's done 3 Venoms already.
Yeah,
and it's like no more Venoms. Let's see more Mad Max. He didn't, because I know he was. I think to his own. I think he said he was a little bit of a pain in the ass on the first movie. I think him and Charlize didn't get along, but then they made up and everything.
Yeah.
So I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't want to make up stories, but from what I remember reading, and then after seeing what George Miller did, he just kind of called back and just like, it was just so amazed by everything that he saw.
we find him like the Fury Road starts with him like on the side of the road, like is he like tied up to his car? I don't remember, man.
I need to watch that movie again.
He just got jumped, is what I think. I could be wrong. No one will tell me in the comments, I'm sure. But
I'm sure, yeah.
I think that's the way to go. I think that it makes sense. It makes sense to go lead because you just did the Furiosa. Yeah. You do his, you tie them all together, and it's a nice little sequel. Mix up, mash them up.
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Did you think that I was going to let you get away with tie them all together?
Tie them together? No. See, because we were there.
Let's tie them all together.
I'm exhausted. I'm surprised I could. Look at these bricks.
What's funny is you're like me. You're such a camera whore that this is what happened. So I walked into this room as I got back from Sarah's thing, and I said to Brett, I go, "Well, I'm going to tape this show. Do you want to do it?" And he's like, no. I set up one camera for you. You're no. The second I start talking, he's like,
We were like, I'm going to put you on the mic. I'm like, well, I got to get a camera going. Looked at that one. It was shit. So I tossed it in the two.
Tossed it in two.
I'm pulling cords going, please don't pull the hard drive.
Yeah.
Like that side of the camera is a mess. And
this is messy right here. But
I want to know. I want people to tell us, what do they think of this table? What do they think of the bricks? How's the sound with the? But you got to look
at it like this. I think this is going to be the one they said that they're going to want the studio to look more like, and there's going to be more adjustments to it. There's going to be more lights and everything. This is right now. This is the best shot. I feel we're going to have more stuff that's going to change, but yeah, clearly
that'll be a great where did we come from shot.
Yeah, and then what my goal is that I want to have by the time Matt's in here, like we'll have the lights back there. We'll have that shot will be here like this. Tomorrow's show will look good because it'll have Coy's set up from where he's doing and me from here the whole time. So it'll be that back and forth. But yeah, we're getting there, man. So we ain't on George Miller status yet, but we're getting there. So let me ask you guys about Furiosa. Do you want to see it? Are you excited to see it? I will tell you that Roxy might be right, though, where she was the one who chose. She said that Furiosa would be the winner of the month. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. As far as box office goes, Apes did okay. Not too bad. But can Furiosa... It's been a kind of a lackluster May thus far. I haven't seen If. I missed the screening for that. I missed the screening of Garfield because I was on my way here. But those are kids' movies that could do very well this month. I don't know, but we'll see. So put your comments in there and tell me what you think. Before we move on, I do want to tell you guys both about AG1. And then I got my wife on the show. And she is going to tell you guys about Mack Weldon. So if you ever wanted to hear my wife's voice, if you never had heard it before, here you go. Let's talk about our sponsors today, AG1. I have to have a supplement that has high quality, and that is why for the last 3 years now, I've been drinking AG1. Unlike many supplement brands, AG1 conducts relentless testing to set the standard for purity and potency. It's because quality for AG1, it's not a buzzword. It's a commitment, and it is backed by expert-led scientific research, high-quality ingredients, industry-leading manufacturing, and rigorous testing. Each step of the process, AG1 goes above and beyond industry standards. I know that. I can definitely trust every time and every scoop that is AG1. They obsess over product quality. They obsess over it. That's great. The standards of manufacturing partners and sustainable practices is all super important to them. I take care of my health, and the reason why is because it shouldn't be complicated, and AG1 simplifies this by making it so there aren't a million different pills and capsules to keep track of. Just one scoop of AG1, you mix it in water every day. The ingredients are heavily researched for efficiency and quality, and I love that every scoop also includes vitamin C and zinc to support my immune health. I partnered with AG1 for so long because they make such a high-quality product that I genuinely look forward to drinking every day. So if you want to replace your multivitamin and more, start with AG1. Try AG1. You get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription at drinkag1.com/bigthing. That's drinkag1.com/bigthing. Check it out. Okay, so I love Mack Weldon. I have been obsessed with them. And I'm not even going to tell my wife. I'm going to call my wife right now just to show you guys how much I love Mack Weldon. Here you go. Hey.
You just call me?
I did. So I'm telling the audience about Mack Weldon. I want you to say a few words about what you've noticed so far with me wearing Mack Weldon.
They fit your body really well. Flattering. The materials that they use are high quality. They're well made, not cheap.
See?
They're just really flattering to a man's physique, and especially yours.
Yeah, well, these are classy. This looks classy. It makes you feel good. It's the fit's good. I feel good when I'm wearing them. I get a confidence boost when I'm wearing them, and it's like it's not flashy. You know, it's just like it's classic, and it feels like it's always in style.
Yeah, they are. They're classic pieces. They're like staple pieces.
And it's regular. It looks like regular clothes, but they just look better. I mean, like they had that. They gave me some sweatpants. They gave me that polo. Those pants that I really like those pants.
I think it's really great for the casual professional.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to be just, really like ragged jeans and t-shirt, but still kind of casual and comfortable. It's a good for the casual professional.
So
it's not fancy and it's not overdressed, but it's still, you don't want to look like you rolled out of bed.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, thank you, honey.
Bye.
She had no idea I was going to do that, and that's what she said. So if you guys, you want to get a timeless look with modern comfort from Mack Weldon, you got to go to mackweldon.com and get 20% off your first order. We got to use that code BIGTHING. Mack Weldon, MackWeldon.com. Use that promo code BIGTHING. You will thank me. I'm telling you, I love Mack Weldon. I'm going to be shopping at Mack Weldon for a very, 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 very long time. I promise you that. All right. Thank you to AG1. Thank you to my wife. And thank you to Mack Weldon. And I'm telling you, man, the Mack Weldon, thank God for AG1, kept me going this weekend. But Mack Weldon, like, I will wear them forever. They're so great. I love them. Anyway, if you want to help out the show and you want to keep us going, keep this show going, especially now with the big move, get yourself something. Get yourself some AG1. Get yourself some Mack Weldon. It's worth it. All right, moving on. Blade star Wesley Snipes responds to the rumor that he's going to return as Blade in the MCU. This is Comic Book Movie, who says there was a recent rumor that claimed that the original big screen Blade, Wesley Snipes, is set to reprise his role in the MCU, and the actor has responded. Mark Cassidy says, "We've been hearing reports that original Blade star Wesley Snipes might be set to reprise the role for a few years at this stage, but when the news broke that Marvel Studios was developing a new movie with Mahershala Ali taking over as the Daywalker, Snipes donning the shades and swords again began to seem highly unlikely. However, there was a recent rumor that claimed that Snipes will return as Blade in the MCU at some point, and has already signed on to do some stuff in the multiverse. Now Snipes has shared a response, to which he just writes, what? With eyeballs. Okay, so it's not exactly much to go on, but some have taken this exaggerated foul surprise as a good indication that he will indeed be back as Blade down the line. If he is set to return, most likely projects for Snipes to appear would be in Deadpool and Wolverine or Avengers Secret Wars, unless the Blade reboot also includes some multiverse stuffs. When asked about the possibility of suiting up as Blade again in 2022 interview with comicbook.com, Snipes said the following: "Never say never. As long as I'm healthy and in shape, I can rock with them. Yes, as far as my predictions on if something like that happened in the future, I don't know. Seems to me if it would have happened. It would have happened already. But hey, never say never." As for the reboot itself, the movie has a set release date of November 7, 2025, and is reportedly scheduled to begin shooting this fall. Plot details are still under wraps, but director Jan Demange has confirmed that the film will be R-rated. Now the question lies, is this a real rumor? I mean, is this rumor real? Or is it just like, we want him back, so we hope he's going to be back? What do you think?
There's the what? Like that could go either way. That could be like, I didn't heard about it, or it's like confirming it. So it's so.
Where do you go? What side do you? I happen to agree with you. I think that you could look at it either way. Like he could do that to where he could say like, I don't know. You heard what they're saying. Maybe Marvel should listen. Yeah. Or I don't know. I'm not saying anything, but yeah. So what do you think it is?
I think it's a go.
I think it's 100% a go.
Yeah.
I think it 100% is a go. Now, the question is exactly where. It would be so much fun, again, to see him in Deadpool and Wolverine, but not as necessary as it is for Secret Wars. Like, because that's going to be a multiverse explosion.
Yeah.
So if you could have something of epic. Remember when you saw, like, Endgame and that scene at the end when everybody comes through and there's that big battle? I think that's going to be this times 1,000. And when you see some of these old school people like Wesley Snipes, and I'd like to see, I would much rather, though, Wesley Snipes. There are other people that if they just show up, great.
Yeah.
But there's some characters I want to see get like the Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire treatment, where they actually have a lot to do with the plot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think anybody would love to see Wesley do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't think, I was going to make a joke about the thing I said earlier, but I couldn't even do that.
Which one?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sweat them all together.
Oh, yeah. Together. Put it all together.
I'd like to see all the blades together.
All together. Yeah. So it's, I think it's a go. I think it makes sense. And especially, it would be great.
And like you said, I'm sorry, but not like you said, not just like, oh, hey, look,
there he is.
Nice, blah, gone. He deserves to have a nice
angle.
Role. Yeah, like something that maybe, hey, we see more. Hey, if people enjoy it and go, look, give me more Wesley.
This is why I'm hoping, though, that it's not in Deadpool and Wolverine. because I think in Deadpool and Wolverine, you have less of a shot for that to happen. But what I hope Deadpool and Wolverine does is set up how the multiverse is such a kind of a thing now, because it's like it's been so people are like, oh, they already did that. They didn't. It was set up in No Way Home, and then Multiverse of Madness. It could have been that movie that did it. It didn't really. But this is the movie. Loki did it well. Loki did it very well. And I think that Loki was kind of starting it. And then if you really put it forward to where it's got to all come to a head in the next Avengers movie, but each movie now is an explosion of multiverse stuff leading to the end of it with this Avenger movie, then it makes a lot more sense to do it in the new Blade movie, to have Wesley Snipes in it in the same way that you did. And they bring that element. That to me makes more sense.
Or to have a bunch of different television shows like Loki.
To just keep doing shows like Loki, yeah.
Because I love how that all came together. Like that explained the multiverse.
Yeah,
to me. Like it just. You know,
that's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's exactly my point. Is the fact that there was all these movies that were trying to. It was just like there. It was just there in the background, and the Multiverse of Madness did not do a very good job of explaining it and how it was going to play into the overall through line of Phase 4 or whatever it is. Or 5, and this Loki did, and hopefully Wolverine and Deadpool does also.
And if you're doing your watch-alongs and your recaps of everything, you got to include Loki in that.
Absolutely. It's really.
And your favorite, She-Hulk. No,
I can't do the She-Hulk again. I don't think I'd be able to watch that again. The first 2 episodes I really liked, and I got tricked because I thought those first 2 episodes were gonna. I was like. To me, it seemed like it knew its tone. I was like, it's still a superhero movie. It's still a superhero show, but it's doing this kind of Ally McBeal thing, and it's staying consistent with, okay, we have our moments here. You guys can have that. We have this. And then it just went, and it forgot about the other stuff and just took a piss on everything. At least that's what I felt. Anyway, how about you guys? What do you think about Wesley Snipes? Is he going to make it? Is he going to do it? Is he going to be in? Which one's he going to be in? That's the question. Which episode or which show, rather, do you... shit, I can't talk either. Which movie do you think he's going to be in? We're tired, guys. But we are going to move on to some other stuff. These are fun stories also. There's a couple different ones. The next 2 are movies that are coming back. And we'll start with this one. All right, this has been a rumor for a little bit. And even when we had Freddie Prinze Jr. on, I think we asked him about it. We talked about it with him when he was on. And I think at the time he said, there's nothing really going on with it. But I think he said I can't remember what the full answer was, but it was like, it was real. It was real. And there were people that had discussed it, but there was nothing that had been announced. Well, looks like it's changing up, Brett. Sony Pictures announced on Thursday that its new I Know What You Did Last Summer film will be released in cinemas on July 18th, 2025. 2 of the original 4 stars are expected to return for the new entry, which hails from director Jennifer Caitlin Robinson. Freddie Prinze Jr. is confirmed, though there seems to be confusion to whether Jennifer Love Hewitt or Sarah Michelle Gellar is the other, with the former linked a year ago, the latter in the new place. Leah McKendrick scripted the film, but plot specifics are under wraps. Neil Moritz is producing. The original 1997 film also starred Jennifer Love Hewitt and Ryan Philippe and follows 4 friends who accidentally run over a pedestrian on a coastal road one night. Now, if I'm going to predict the guarantee here, the guarantee is Freddie's back, and so Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, there's no guess there. The only answer after that is Jennifer Love Hewitt also coming back, and I think the answer will be yes to that as well. The question that could happen behind the scenes is that you could see a negotiation happening with Jennifer Love Hewitt's agents to make sure she gets as much as Sarah Michelle Gellar, but who knows if that's going to happen, because Sarah Michelle Gellar's star has risen higher, although Jennifer Love Hewitt's on a very popular, well-known television show now, and Freddie is the best. You know, Freddie's a friend, and Freddie was I remember talking to him when he was basically retired from acting. He wasn't even going to act anymore. And then he had kind of like a second awakening. He was just like, oh yeah, I'm digging this now. He's been doing a lot more stuff. So happy for him, very happy for him, and want to see what he's going to do with this role. But I think this makes sense to try to give this one another shot with it, especially
I can't remember because I mean this was 1997, which was a year after I graduated from high school.
Wow.
Was this one campy like Scream, or was this one more in the scarier route? Was this one when they started doing the kind of Scream jokey
Scream
kind of
hit
thing?
96. Scream hit 96. It still took itself serious. It was still.
I feel like this one was more.
It took itself more in the but it still had a fun tone to it. I remember that people were like losing their minds on this because I believe. Well, this is Kevin Williamson, right? I think so. But yeah, people. I remember it was college. People loved.
Yeah, I remember loving it. It's been
movie.
a long time.
Yeah.
But I would love for it to really lean into the scary element and the thriller element, and
not get too
too jokey. I think that that time for me is coming past that the whole scary movies became just goofy movies, and nothing was frightening anymore. And if this really messed with these people, their psyche, and the I know what you did last summer thing, make it creepy.
Make it creepy if they can do that for sure. Because I think that Wes Craven, when he did Scream, did like a spoof of his movies, and not a spoof, but like it was like satire. What he was trying to do in general with that tone and the autonomy of a scary movie in general, right? Mm-hmm. And that was the original name of that movie before Scary Movie was. I think was it Stab or was it actually Scary Movie? I think it was called Scary Movie. I know that the spoof became that, but I can't remember. I think actually because I know Stab was what they eventually called the movies inside of it, but I feel like the original title for Scream was Scary Movie, and now I feel like Perry and Jeff Snyder are yelling at me that I don't know that.
And I know that people are yelling at me. I do realize there are scary movies out that really scare, and they're not all campy.
I know, but I know what you mean.
But
like
the comebacks of these things.
I know what you mean.
I just think if you flip it on people, it's gonna be great. Make it
creepy. Make it creepy
because you can't make this is a callback to this. If you do that too much, people are gonna check out. You make this a legit movie that people go, oh my god, you're not gonna believe how awesome this was.
And make one for the new generation of kids so they're gonna see this also too. Okay. Before we move on, we got one or two more stories left. I have to tell you guys about Nutrafol and Fume. I've been getting a lot of comments about them, and thank you for letting me know. There are people who've been using Nutrafol, been using Fume, and this is a very, very proud moment for me because I love these two sponsors. They've been around for a bit, and they're coming back. So here it is. Listen to them both. Let me tell you guys about Nutrafol. I'm going to tell you guys about Nutrafol. I'm very excited to tell you about Nutrafol. I've told you about Nutrafol many times over, and I've gotten people, and Nutrafol even said we're back because the audience is listening, and they're checking it out, and it's working. Because if you didn't know, did you know that 80% of men are going to experience hair thinning in their lifetime? Because it's normal. It doesn't have to be your fate. You can get ahead of it with Nutrafol. What is it? Well, it's a clinically tested hair growth supplement for men. A lot of times you blame genetics, but there are multiple things at play when it comes to hair thinning. So what is Nutrafol? It is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. You can take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. And for a limited time, Nutrafol is going to offer our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. When you go to Nutrafol.com/men, you got to enter that promo code BIGTHING. You can find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and hairstylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men. Nutrafol.com/men. You got to enter that code BIGTHING. Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code BIGTHING. Very excited to have them on board. Let's talk about some habits, because you guys know you got some habits, and there's nothing better than beating a bad habit with a good habit. And we've talked about Fume before. You guys know we've talked about Fume. We've had Fume on, and we're glad that they are back. It's great. And Mark Riley is the one who's really been talking this thing up, and I can't wait for him to talk about it even more so on the show when he's on for UAP. And he's just talking about how flavorful it was, better than he thought. It feels very fresh, and it's like a refreshing herbal tea, but if it was vapor. It was. You can look at like sticky soda. It's got It's really good. It's well weighted. It's perfectly balanced. It's extremely fun to fidget with, and it really look at the wood itself. It's great. You can start the year off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/big thing and getting the journey pack today. Fume is giving listeners to the show 10% off when they use that code big thing to help make starting the good habit much easier, because you get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit that you're free to enjoy, and it makes replacing your bad habit easy. It comes with adjustable airflow dial, and it's designed with movable parts. It's great. They use flavored air instead of vapor. Fume is completely natural, by the way, instead of electronics. And this is the reason why I decided. People are like, well, why would you get involved with something like this? Why? Because they don't use harmful chemicals. They use delicious flavors, and that's why I got involved. Fume works. They're great. So thank you again to Fume for sponsoring the show. All right. Thank you to both Nutrafol and Fume. As I said before, if you are able to and you have the means to and you want to get yourself something beneficial, try out our sponsors. The links are in the description. Always the first pinned comment. All right. I mentioned before, Brett, that we had Wesley Snipes coming back as a beloved character in Blade. I know what you did last summer, coming back from 97. Well, speaking of another 90s movie coming back,
Gutenberg.
That's right. Steve Gutenberg is going to star in 7 Police Academy movies at the same time.
Apparently is jacked right now.
He's probably in shape. I'll tell you what. He's got, dude, and I've talked to Roka about this, the best Instagram follow that you could possibly follow.
I will do it.
He is the most positive human being on the planet.
Oh, yeah. He's got to be.
He's like, I was walking up to... guy, and I was walking up and down the street, and a guy came to me and said, I watch your Instagram feed, and it makes me feel good. He goes, and that made me feel good.
Uh-huh.
He's like this. He's like a Mr. Rogers energy about him now too.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I love me some goots.
He has the best Instagram feed you can. If you want to feel good about yourself, follow Steve Gutenberg. It is such a great Instagram feed. And then the not opposite side, because it's also a great Instagram feed, but not doing the same thing, is the Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh.
Andrew Dice Clay at one point goes up to so if you didn't know, on Dice's feed, he walks up to people randomly in the streets in New York, and a lot of different places, but it's a lot in New York. He's like, "You're the one that asked for a picture," and none of these people know who he is, and they're like, "No." He's like, really? Normally I don't do this, but I was gonna give you a picture. and the other day there was one. Matt Damon was sitting at the bar, and Matt Damon didn't know who he was. Like and I know Matt Damon's a great actor.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this looked really legit to me. Like he didn't know who Dice was.
Yeah, with the face and the shows and you want the picture.
You want the picture? And Matt Damon's like, no.
That's a great. You turned me on to that one.
It's the best. It's the best. There's that one, and there's
What about mugshotties? You follow that one?
Which one?
It's really hot women who have been arrested for heinous crimes.
For anus crimes?
Heinous.
Anus crimes. It's like either one, I guess, could work.
I mean, some of them are soliciting prostitution, so it could be that. But I mean, it's like assault with a deadly weapon, and they're all just super hot. It's called mugshotties.
Oh, no. I have to look at that one. I ran it up. The ones that I wind up, there's just one guy that I have seen now on Instagram, and he just does this thing where, like, if it's like a compilation of people in bowling alleys, like throwing like falling down or whatever, too, he pretends he's in a bowling alley. So he's standing there and he's looking, and he looks over to the left, and then he shows like a video of somebody throwing the ball up in the air, and then he looks to the right, and you see something else happen. It's really funny. I've been going down the rabbit hole on that one. But anyway, what we were talking about was things that are coming back. And this one has been a bit in the rumor mill. Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore is back. It's a done deal, and I'm so surprised that it didn't happen years ago, because Adam Sandler has this deal with Netflix. And with Beverly Hills Cop coming back and all the ones that we just mentioned coming back, how in the world did this not happen years ago? So here's the report. Happy Gilmore coming back. It is a go at Netflix. It's a go. The sequel to the beloved 1996 golf comedy Happy Gilmore is underway at Netflix with Adam Sandler set to return. Sandler starred and co-wrote the Dennis Dugan-directed original sports comedy, which remains one of his most famous works. In the film, his Happy Gilmore is a hockey player with anger management issues who discovers he has a talent for golf. Happy joins the golf tour circuit to win money to save his grandma's house. He also faces off against an arrogant golfing pro named Shooter McGavin. Christopher McDonald, he's got to be coming back. The supporting cast also included Julie Bowen, Carl Weathers, and Bob Barker. McDonald stirred up talk of a sequel in March, saying Sandler had revealed the first draft of a script to him. The streamer has now officially announced the project as a part of its upfront presentation to advertisers on Wednesday afternoon in New York. Okay. So, yeah, this makes all the sense in the world that you would do this if he has a script. Here's my concern with it. The first thing is, am I glad that they're doing it? Yes. Adam Sandler is one of the most underrated dramatic actors in all of Hollywood. He is so good. Did you ever see Hustle?
Hustle, I did not, but Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love is phenomenal. But this Hustle is most recent. And the reason I bring up Hustle,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's not the most recent movie, but it's within the last 2 or 3 years. That movie, to me, showcases the best of Adam Sandler's talents, where there's comedic moments, but it's not the over-the-top kind of silly, goofy stuff that he does. It's like, it's his, how you feel he really is. I know that Happy Gilmore is a more kind of outlandish character, but the character's also now in his 40s and 50s. So you gotta have him grow up a little bit. You gotta grow up, and I'd like to see it be a mixture of what like The Wedding Singer was. The Wedding Singer is my favorite Adam Sandler movie. And it's a mixture of, there's some goofy humor in it, but it's got heart.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore had heart, but I don't want it to get to this place to where it's just like all good. Like Coming to America 2 was just, the tone lost itself. And I hope that this tone doesn't lose itself.
So in the same way that I want, I know what you did last summer to be scary, or you want this to be more on the serious tip, a little bit more.
No. You can't have this movie be serious. You can't have, it can't be serious.
But just a lot of heart.
A lot of heart.
So we left out. He has the house.
Yeah.
He's with Julie Bowen.
I would assume so.
Which was, what was her character's name in it?
Julie Bowen.
Didn't she? She's got to come back.
Yeah,
right?
I hope so. And they've got to pay homage to Chubbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he passed away in the movie, and then obviously passed in the first movie, and then he passed away in real life. Carl Weathers, obviously, but they got to pay homage to Carl Weathers.
Yeah, I just don't know where you go from here. I mean, I'm excited to see it, but it's kind of like
he blows his arm out, like he tries to take a comeback on the tour.
Maybe he's training a new blood. He's the Chubbs to somebody else.
I'd like to see him be actually good at golf.
Yeah,
because he was getting in Happy Gilmore. He was getting good at golf, not just hitting it like a lunatic.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant. There was some stuff to it. I'm really hoping for that movie because it would be nice for them to. I just on the plane, I watched Top Gun Maverick, and I know it's the gold.
As it should.
I know. On the plane, I know it's the gold standard of reboots. I know it's gold or I guess nostalgic sequels. I know it is the gold standard, but like. I'm not telling you you're going to make like a potential Oscar winner the way that Top Gun Maverick was, but staying consistent with the tone. And where I mentioned Coming to America 2 didn't seem like the same tone. It seemed like it skewed more off of like way more into the absurd than the original. So I don't know. I'm hoping that it's good. I'm rooting for it.
Yeah.
Well, what was that noise?
What was that? Was it in your earphones too?
No.
Oh.
But I heard that weird noise.
Oh, man. We'll fix that before the next show.
We'll fix it in post. I'm going to check, and I'm going to see if there's one more story we can cover. But if not, we'll call it a day. We did pretty good so far, but let's check. All right, I don't want to give any spoilers yet on the X-Men 97 finale because I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it tonight, and Coy and I will talk about it on tomorrow's show. But all I will say is that so far, this has been one of the biggest hits for Marvel in general. People have been raving about this. This has been the talk of the town, this series, and it's been a phenomenal show. It has gotten excitement back for the X-Men. I know excitement was already there, but even more so, more elevated. So it's a really solid show overall. Brett, have you watched any of the X-Men?
No, I haven't, but I enjoy the X-Men.
You enjoy the X-Men in general?
Yeah.
It's amazing how good this show was. Like, it really, really was a solid show with, you could see.
Well, I know everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about it, Rox. Everybody. I'm bummed that we're not going to have her on the show this week.
Why wouldn't she just fly into New York real quick?
She's in, I think she's in Boston.
Yeah, just come on down.
Just come on.
Or up. I don't know where Boston is, but
It's around. You can make it.
just take the
Take the thing.
Tappan
Take the train to the Tappan Zee, to the train to the rope. And, then just dance. All right, listen, we're tired. We'll talk more X-Men 97 with Corey and I tomorrow. But I wanted to make sure we had a show out here for you guys today. Make sure that we got something going. And I would love to hear your thoughts overall. Brett, where can they find you tomorrow?
They can find me putting this brick over here on this wall over here and hanging up some lights.
Adjusting the light on you so you don't look so heavenly?
Yeah, we're going to get this place rocking, get a nice... We're going to pull this wide shot. I don't want to give it away.
Right, don't give it away. Don't give it away. So put your thoughts in there about everything. About the studio, about the Furiosa, about Blade. We did it, guys. Got our show, our first show in New York. So put your comments in there and click like, because more people need to see what we're doing over here on the show, and they'll see it. Because what happens is when you guys click right away and you watch the show, if you're one of the people who clicks right away and watches the show, and you click the like button and you put a comment in there, well, then it starts filtering it out to more people. When you don't, you just go, I'll watch the show, and you don't click and you don't click like and you don't comment. It doesn't put it in. It doesn't look like it's as active of a show. We want people seeing the new studio. We want to see those people who did the wish list. We want people to see what you helped us do here. So thanks for joining us today. As I said, I'll do the show. I'm doing the show with Coy tomorrow. I'm going to do the show on Monday, the live show with Roca. I'll have the UAP show with Riley on Tuesday, and I'll probably have a show with Matt Serra on Wednesday. So that being said, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do what you can. Thanks for joining us. It's me. It's Brett. We'll see you later.